Greetings, Mindcrafters. Here comes Giovanni, and welcome to yet another exciting video on, hopefully, discussion on all things well-being. So I'm Dr. Kimberly Quinn, and my role here is to help you become the boss of your brain, because thoughts come first and feelings come second, and actions or behavior third. Therefore, how we think, what we allow ourselves to think, therefore dictates how we feel. So changing thoughts therefore changes our lives, right? Pretty obvious. I'll say simple, very simple. It is that simple. People can say, oh, I'm diagnosed with this and that, and that sort of is what it is. It's not, I'm not having empathy. Of course I'm having empathy. I'm in the Fast Mind Club, and it's still a choice. It still takes practice, rehearsal if you'd rather call it that, but happiness is definitely a choice, and it is largely to do with practicing thought control. So I saw a bunch of cars like in our spot here. Like, what's with all the draw to our, I feel like this is our spot. Giovanni's in my spot. Giovanni's notch. There he is up there. All right, so today's talk is pretty spontaneous because I had an interview today. I've done a lot of these, and they're always fun. I mean, they're just so much fun. And this guy, Ken, my new pal Ken, was very seasoned, and again, they're all good. The journalists are the best. They're a really good crew. Ken had been at this, forever and a day. If he's watching, it's meant as a compliment, Ken, because he was so natural and just, the passion and everything. And I was super impressed. He had done his homework. He knew a lot of stuff. Anyway, so he kind of asked me towards the end there. And I get asked this question a lot, not always by journalists, but so like, how are you this happy? Are you always like this? Or is it, I don't know, why or how are you so happy? And of course, whenever we're talking about human beings and non-human animals, we cannot, sort of detach away from genes because we can't separate genes out. So, yes, I have kind of a happy-go-lucky disposition. Remember also, if you've seen my other videos and my TED Talks, I had a really turbulent childhood in a very abusive, addicted, violent childhood. And so, there's that. So lots goes into it. And that said, I also know how to prime my day. So I'm going to share with you. I shared this stuff with Ken today. And you'll know that many, I had to hesitate to say most since I don't know everybody out there who's famous or successful or whatever, but we know that many famous people, successful people, whatever, people have the world by the ass, let's say that, have a pretty well-established morning routine. And they usually are not long. And mine isn't either. I mean, usually, 15 minutes, even less. And, somebody might have like a whole workout routine like that. I'm not even talking about that. That's because I kind of do my physical stuff often later, but in the beginning. So I'll just share this with you. There's some things I do for sure, and you know some of them because we've talked about it. So first thing in the morning, when I wake up, I'm fortunate to have a big bay window right in front of me. And I remember taking this from John Kabat-Zinn years ago. He's like, when you first wake up in the morning, like, where's the fire? Just take a minute. If you can take 3 minutes, that's great. Just 60 seconds to just kind of look around the room, look out. For me, I look out the window, and just slow it down for like 60 seconds isn't going to change anything. If you're already late, what's a minute? You even really, what's 3 minutes? And this was years ago, so I've done that ever since. So I wake up and kind of, prop myself up a little bit because you don't want to fall back asleep, or at least I don't want to fall back asleep. And I look out, and I just look out. Then I say out loud, my husband's just used to it, he doesn't even move. I say thank you. Okay, just thank you. No other words, just thank you. And when I swing around, plant my feet on the floor, I say thank you again. That's it, no other words, just thank you as I'm standing up. In my head, I'm thinking, gravity just took over, and I'm thankful. I'm not saying all this, it's just kind of my routine. I have an awareness, let's say it like that, of when my feet hit the ground, my feet work, my legs work, my spine, thank God, is intact. All the vertebrae looking good. And then, you know, I'm head healthy, heart healthy, hip healthy, knee healthy, and all of it's healthy. So all I'm saying is thank you, though. Thank you when I first look out the window. Thank you when I swing my feet around and gravity takes over. And I have the awareness of my body working, especially in the spine area. Okay, there's that. I will also tell you that I wake up early. You can say, oh, well, I'm more of a night owl. That's my biorhythm. Okay, and there's a lot to be said for that. My oldest is very much a night owl, so is my youngest, actually. Still, that said, we know that Ben Franklin actually said, right? Early to bed, early to rise makes a person healthy, wealthy, and wise. And for me, you know, getting up at like 5:15, it's the only time the whole day the house is quiet, and that really works, okay? Different biorhythms, you have to work with that, and if you live by yourself, that may not be as much of an issue, but even if you're a night owl, there's a lot to be said for waking up early, because you just get the jump start on the whole day. That's another thing I do, okay? From there, okay, so far we have waking up, taking a minute to just stare, right? Propped up so you don't fall back to sleep. Minute to just stare. After the minute of mindfulness, which is what that is, it's thank you. And then for me, I do 2 of them. Swing around, feet on the ground, upright. Thank you again. This Giovanni's leash is slipping. And then, I mentioned my gratitude journal is on the windowsill. So again, that's the 20-second rule. I have to give a shout out to Sean Aker for that. Author of The Happiness Advantage, which is a great read. And the 20-second rule, remember, that's empirically demonstrated. We're not supposed to say proved in psychology for some ridiculous reason. So we say shown or demonstrated. It's really all the same thing. They're just synonyms. And that if we're trying to, shift into a good habit within 20 minutes, or also shift out of a not so good habit, right? So, and basically we're making it convenient for ourselves. So if you wanted to start a running habit, let's say, but your sneakers are downstairs, you can't find any clean socks, and then your shorts are in the dryer, which is in the other room. After you go here, there, here, you're like, forget it, mañana, not doing it. When we have like our running stuff all sitting right there, like on a chair next to the bed, and it's like that easy, okay, or even sleep in your shorts if you want to really get a jump on it, we're just that much more apt to do it. So for me, the gratitude journal is on the windowsill, so I have to literally walk out the bedroom door. It's right there, and I rarely miss because of it. And sort of a double 20-second rule, there's a pen wedged in there. So I grab it. From there, I go out to the living room, which we have a great view out there. I make a hot tea. So far, this sounds like a lot. It's really, we haven't even hit minute 2 yet, really. Maybe minute 3, I don't think so. I pop a tea in, some hot water, and the microwave, and the tea, and I actually get the hot tea before I write in the gratitude journal, usually. And then I write, I am grateful for. Remember, the words are important. I am grateful for. The neurons need to know what to do. So to just say, my family, the beaver pond, which is behind us, walking with Giovanni, you have to say, I am, look at him, there he is, what a good boy. I am grateful for Giovanni. I am grateful for the beaver pond. I am grateful for Dad's banana bread. I am grateful for, okay, because the neurons, like a 2-year-old, need the consistency of a good parent. They need to know what to do. Neurons that wire together, fire together. Okay, that's what we're trying to do here. Okay, so we have waking up. Oh, there went a beaver just splashed. That is so cool. Thank you, thank you. Grab the gratitude journal, make the tea, sit on the couch or the deck, because right now it's like gorgeous out. This is like the greatest weather. And then, okay, we do that. Then my mindfulness can look different. Sometimes I just kind of, when it's snowing, that's so easy. I just kind of like stare outside because winter's my favorite. Sometimes my husband brings me flowers. I'll just kind of like stare at them for like a minute. It's not always a structured thing. In the past, sometimes I listen to binaural beats for just a couple of minutes. So far up to minute like 5. That's it, literally 5. Sometimes I will do like a short little planking thing if I want to do that. The thing is, I don't, that's like a sometimes because I'm out in nature and I'm active a lot, so I don't always add that to it. But right now I'm literally at 5 or 6 minutes, and that's it. That includes like a kind of, you want to say structured mindfulness, not really. And that's it, 6 minutes. Also, okay, so that's my morning routine. Everybody should have one. Oh, I forgot this one. In part of that 6 minutes will bring up to 7 minutes. I mean, think it. You can spend 7 minutes in the bathroom. Like, this is so quick. So propped up. 1 extra minute mindfulness when you wake up. Thank you. Thank you. Gratitude journal. Hot tea. Oh, wow. Trees are kind of loud. Very nice. Mindfulness can look like whatever. Staring outside. There's a million activities I could give to you. They're just like a minute. And I just lost my train. I lost it. Okay. And also, so add to that, oh, intention. That's what it was. I set an intention every day. I set an intention. And so this is really important. And so now we're up to maybe minute 8. Okay, not even 10 minutes. Anybody can do this. Again, you can spend this much time in the bathroom. So I set an intention. It's not hard. It's not complicated. They're very simple. So it might be, I will have minimal stress today. I will manage stress well today. I will make extra money this week, or I will have fun today. I will engage with my colleagues today. You can just come up with anything. I will smile a lot today. I will have something awesome happen today that surprises me. You know, can manifest anything. I will have a great lunch today. I will enjoy my lunch time today with a colleague. So I say I will or I am. Okay, those are really good. It's best to stay away from I want, because I want is the equivalent of saying I lack to the universe. So saying something like, I want more money, I want to make more money, that is saying I lack money, which is why I'm asking for more. And lack attracts more lack. So this is not a good place to go, because that's the universe hearing, okay, you lack, you're going to give you some more lack. Whereas if we say, I am wealthy, I am going to become wealthier today. Realize when you say wealthy to the universe, which I do because I like how I define that, wealthy isn't just money. Wealthy is like all of it, right? Like relationships, enriching relationships, great conversations that weren't even planned, just spontaneous late night phone calls, or out in the woods like I am now, or whatever. So wealthy is the gamut, right? So, and abundance tracks more abundance. So important to watch our words. That's another thing. Brings me to another tip. My own personal happiness. You know that I've listed the terrible 10, which I did not bring with me to the woods since I didn't even plan this video today. It's just rolling right out of me. Is I have on the list. And Ken had done his homework today because he knew at the top of the list was the word disorder. Get rid of it. Please do the whole world a favor. It's a dumb shame word that if somebody is not already having enough of a challenging time with their anxiety, depression, ADHD, autism, bipolar, whatever, now we're going to add disorder to it. So if that isn't enough, now you got to feel, less than, defective, flawed, not enough in all these ways. That's just ridiculous. It's important to watch our vocabulary. I also do that. I catch myself, and when I do a self-correct, even if nobody's around, in my head, perfect is another top of, well, disorders first, then perfect, and then there's the rest of them, like everything, always, nothing, no one. None of those exist in reality. So when we tell ourselves like that, things like that, like, none of my colleagues like me, or everyone thinks this way at work. That's everyone. That's like everybody. That's the whole world. Or, my anxiety always gets the best of me in whatever situation. That means every millisecond, of every minute, of every hour, of every day, of every week, of every month, of every year of your life. So since that isn't statistically possible, it's important not to use these words. And I work very hard at not using these words. And again, I self-correct, because of course it slips sometimes. Disorder and perfect don't slip much, I'll tell you that. Those are kind of like ingrained. But the everything always stuff kind of can slip, and then I fix it. I also let myself feel. Remember, Marty Seligman says positive psychology, learning to get on the happy track, is not about, happyology, where we just dismiss all negative feelings. No. I actually had a little thing this past week with a thing at work, and I'm like, okay, breathe deeply. I came out here to the woods a lot and really just had some hurt feelings. I just felt them, validate. Okay, enough time spent there. And then I started my other rituals with not residing there, getting right back into the gratitude and shifting my focus after I let myself feel. Very important to feel. And I processed with a couple of my my main safe person, my husband, because I can tell him anything, and he's airtight. And I processed. He was wonderfully validating, and then I could move on. And it's important to decide to move on, because if we just wait, for the clouds to part and let's let it go now, it's not going to happen probably. So it's a decision. Okay, I felt I validated. I'm now letting this go, because remember, our thoughts dictate how we feel, dictate our behavior. And since I don't want to continue to feel hurt or pissed off, I made a conscious choice to let it go after I'd felt it. That's another thing I do. Obviously, you can clearly see how much I love nature, and I am out here lots. Right now, obviously, it's gorgeous August, and I sure love September. Wow, this feels like September today. It's just not hot anymore. It's beautiful. So I'm out in nature a lot, even if that isn't your life. Maybe you don't have woods right by. There's all kinds of parks. There's other things to do. And when it snows, which is my favorite, well, I'm mostly skiing a lot, and I also. But the skiing is like, I love skiing, obviously. There's also lots of people, so I balance that. I love people. I'm just saying I like the solitude of this sometimes, even though I'm mega extroverted. We're not totally by ourselves, are we, Giovanni? Because we got viewers. Giovanni, there he is. Good boy. Let's not have an encounter with another beaver, though. It was stressful. Okay, so I come out here also and snowshoe in the total solitude. It's just, sometimes I just stare at how the ice lands on the trees, and I call it tree art, because it defies gravity. If you really look at the ice drops on the trees in the winter, it actually, it's big, heavy, and they just defy gravity. It's just so amazing. And I'm also very physically active, because I run, I ski, I walk up hills. I call these small hikes. They're not major hikes. I do some major hikes when I can, but I do like 1.5 mile ones back here sometimes. And so the nature and the physical activity is super important. And obviously the number one we've talked about is relationships. I'm fortunate enough to have some really great relationships. I've got, we've got an awesome family. My husband's side, of course. Oh, there went something, I don't know. And I've got a ton of friends, and where I teach, I hesitate to call it work, because you know how I feel about my calling at Champlain. I absolutely love it there. It certainly doesn't feel like work, rarely if ever. It's like playing. And so relationships, absolutely key. And then I'm thinking of PERMA here, right? So Marty Seligman would say when you've got each of these buckets full, partially, hopefully full, then there's your well-being. So PERMA stands for positive regard, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishment. I've got all those boxes checked, thank goodness. And it's not just like I won the happiness, lottery either, right? Even though I do have a pretty even-keeled, happy-go-lucky temperament, it's constant work, because the world's out there throwing curveballs, right? So there's a lot of choice making, and I choose to live deliberately, which means making a lot of small choices all day long. It's not always the big ones, like deciding to buy a house or something ginormous like that. It's choosing to let go of little shit. Sometimes somebody's just snarky in the morning, and we can dig in our claws and they just, if I would have, should have said, also words on the list to delete. And that just our spirals our whole day. So that was pretty much my routine. And really what the word for the morning thing is, it's about priming your day. Today is a good day to have a good day. I kind of live by that, because we can choose it. And even when life's curveballs happen, okay, we can also choose to start the day over. We can choose to start the day over. And also, Dr. Richard Carlson, just came in my head this minute. He has a series of books called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And he's got a bunch of them, and they're all so good. And his main theme is, if we sweat the small stuff, digging in with that snarky comment, oh, this little shit, then we don't have the juice for the big stuff, right? And it's really almost all small stuff. Thankfully, we don't get those bad phone calls too often. Mostly it's all small stuff. And so that's pretty much what I do every day. And remember, habits, about 21 days for your average habit to shift. And for me, it's a lifestyle. So at this point, it's habits like cumulative for years. So it's a lifestyle. And once you have this lifestyle turned on switch on, you really have there isn't a lot of tolerance for negativity. I have like a force field around me. I'm like, ugh. It feels like sticking pins in my, prefrontal cortex or something. Not that I'm not saying I obviously listen to the people close to me. I don't mean that when even genuine something wrong. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the whiners and the complainers, and those are the people, oh, it's too hot, and then it's winter, oh, it's too cold, those people. So I have a force field around me for negativity too. I just have no interest in that. Okay, so that's it. Spontaneous video here. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.